All right, guys. Nvidia back up to 884, still under 900s though after yesterday. Today is quadruple witching day. Technically, it's triple witching day, but we're going to call it quad witching day. All right. Look at Nvidia. Nvidia back up though. Let me drink some coffee, man. Oh. Tesla up a little bit today, back up to 164s. Hit as low as 162s yesterday, but rebound a lot of the gains. I don't know if Tesla's at the bottom or not. Apple's still running up though, man. Same thing with Google. Google's up there too. Good morning, chat. All right, chat. Good morning. What's up, Sandy? My Bitcoin and ETH dip limit orders last night. What's up, Pawn? Watch and study. It's just a day of historical volatility. It's a yeah. Hey, that's the internet. Okay, that's the internet, bro. He says, man, John, I can't imagine how big mad people get at you. I have a little channel, and some get super heated for me saying Bitcoin might dip 2 days ago. Yeah, I mean, listen, people get weird, bro. It's a mix of insecurity and anonymity on the internet. Is why they get weird. All right, look at Nvidia though. It's up there. Crypto people expected a dip, but I messed up. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's down to 68K. It's not the end of the world, though, man. I mean, it's going to have to pull back. It's not going to go straight up, and that's not a reasonable expectation for it. Yeah. I respect you for staying cool with everyone. I mean, we try. You gotta just learn to tune everybody out. Alright, chat, let me get some music playing. All right, chat. Let me turn this music I'm listening to off. All right, today is quadruple witching day. It's day where technically we have three major contract types expire. So technically it's just three, but yeah, those expire today. Should be a day of volatility. Maybe not. We'll see. But it is a Friday. Yeah, Nvidia GTC conference starts next week. It'll be fun, man. Yeah, so this conference starts next week. Bloomberg reported about it. Nvidia's GTC, the company's graphics processing unit technology event, has quickly become a global AI conference for developers. It runs from March 18th to 21st, which is Monday through Thursday next week. We also have the Fed meeting on Wednesday with Chief Executive Officer Jensen Huang due to speak on the opening day. His comments may help Nvidia stock end a bout of volatility and resume its surge more than 80% this year. Ted Mortensen, technology desk sector strategist at Robert Baird & Co., said, quote, "It's a huge catalyst because they'll probably give more info not only on industry penetration, so usually the first day is an introduction of new products and an outline for latest vision for where tech is headed. He'll be under some pressure, they say, to show off innovations." Yeah, Nvidia volatility picked up. The AI Woodstock is what they're calling GTC. No indicator, just grinding pretty near just straight hours on the charts. Hey, good luck, man. Options expiry is bullish. Well, it's triple witching day today, so today all three major contract types expire. Stock options, index stock or index futures. So those three expire today. Sectors run together. Have you got any micro trades going? No. Bitcoin trending down. It's pulling back some. It kind of needs to. Yeah, I'm trying to see when GTC starts. Super micro at GTC. Really, it kind of starts some of the workshops start Sunday. All right, so from 1 to 3 p.m. they do the Jensen Huang's keynote from 1 to 3. We're definitely going to be streaming this. So it'll be packed. Alright, chat. Yeah, so we're gonna stream this. Is it from... I'm trying to see when the speaker... what the time frame is. From 1 to 3 what? I'm hoping it's Eastern time, but it could be Pacific time. Either way, it'll be fine. We'll still stream it. Yeah, so the Q is up, but it dipped yesterday. So, like, we look at the Q. Q had a very flat, choppy day yesterday. I'm surprised I made money. And we're kind of rebounding back up. We're right around where we were at the opening bell yesterday for the Q. Hey, thank you, Ahmet. Good morning, beginner traders. Love to be around people who are trying to make it. Good luck to everyone. Thanks, man. You too. Do we have any earnings today? GT or GCT, JBL, Groupon, nothing really. All right, let's do a poll. All right, so the poll is going to be: does the Fed take a dovish or hawkish stance in the press conference for the FOMC meeting next week? In the FOMC press conference next week. Vote on the poll. Let me know how you feel. Yeah, AI conference is next Monday. I'm trying to see what time. Again, Monday, the keynote speakers from 1 to 3. I'm trying to figure out if it's Eastern or if it's Eastern or Pacific. It's kind of hard to see, but I'll look it up. Hold on. All right, so GTC has 319,000 virtual registration. I'm gonna have to register it. I'm excited for this, dude, to be honest. Alright, so we're in here. We registered for the event. Alright, so we're registered. We're in there. Alright, sorry, I'm registering for GTC. Alright, let me see the... Oh wait, do I have to pay for this? Oh. Wait, so did they do a GTC conference last year? Let's see. Pretty sure they did. Yeah. Oh, it's free. Never mind. It's free. Okay, I was about to say. Yeah, so we're in there. All right, so yeah, this will be big, man. I'm excited. Honestly, I've been playing with AI a lot this week. A lot. Like, I've been playing with it a lot. Okay. Yeah, so we're in here. I've been playing with AI a lot this week, and it's powerful. Do you think that will raise rates? Bitcoin to dump after the halving? I don't know, maybe. I mean, miners are going to make less, but Bitcoin's so strong right now. Alright, guys, it's triple witching day. Yeah, we don't really have any big earnings today either. Looking at our poll numbers, 55% think hawkish. 47% say dovish. We'll see. Oh, man. Alright, guys, it's the 15th. Bitcoin dump. Bitcoin a dump after having loved the music. What's up, Tish? No. Piper. La. Do you think they will raise rates? No. I mean, we're almost certainly not going to raise rates. We're almost certainly not going to cut rates either. It's probably going to be a pause. Almost certainly going to be a pause in rates. Most likely, at least. Today is Triple Witching Day. Alright, so again, we'll put this up on screen. Today is Triple Witching Day, also called Quad Witch, a day in which all major contract types expire. Let me pull Chat GPT out. Alright, chat. I need help with setting up NinjaTrader Nvidia 900 by close. I think it certainly could. I mean, we're pretty close to 900 right now. The Q at 440s here, chat. So the Q's at 440s. We could certainly hit these levels here. We'll see. Alright, I'm playing with AI. Alright, got it. So I'm sitting over here building indicators. Hey John, what are your top 3 key indicators or factors that you consider most important when you're evaluating potential investments? All right, I'm going to preface this with, look, I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. Always make your own assessment and trade responsibly. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Remember, I am terrible at this stuff, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Also, understand rule CFTC, rule 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limits. And read the rest of this as well. You can also see it scrolling on the bottom of the screen at all times. All right, just to be clear, okay? Now, with that said, when I'm looking at investing and stuff, there's a couple things. Number one, and this is a thought process that people have to do when they buy anything in the stock market or anything in markets in general, really. You have to look at the longevity of whatever you're buying. All right, so like an example of this is like I'm not going to come around, and I talked about this 6 months ago. I'm not going to buy Dish, the company Dish. I'm not going to buy a satellite dish company that is obviously going to be obsolete in the future, right? Like it's just not worthwhile investment. Like obsolescence is real, and some of these companies are going obsolete, and people look at them, and so people look at them like discounts when they're really just going out of business. They're just obsolete businesses. You just don't need to slap a satellite dish on a house anymore to get good cable. You know, you just don't need that. Streaming apps have taken over. Internet's gotten better, stuff like that. So number one, I look for whether the company is going to be obsolete. All right, and whether obsolescence is a true risk short term, especially. All right, so that's the first thing in investing in a company. The second thing is I look at the PE ratio as well as extension. You know, I look at the stock, I say, is this stock up too much? Like, is it up too much? Has it gone up too much short term? Has it gone up too much long term? What's the PE ratio? Is the PE ratio over 50? And then I also look at the earnings and the revenue and the guidance numbers for it. So I look at all those different fundamental metrics to gauge whether it's valuable enough for me to buy it. You know, and again, these include PE ratios. I look at EPS, historical EPS, historical revenue, future projection guidance for EPS and revenue, stuff like that. I want to make sure the company is earning money like that and is justified in price, as well as preferably I'd like to see the company have a positive trending revenue graph. Like, I want to see the revenue increasing each quarter. I want to see the EPS getting better margins each quarter. And so, yeah. And again, when you mix that with PE ratio, you know, it could be a good thing. And so those are the big two things. And then the other thing is just technicals. Like, I'm looking at extension on the downside. Preferably for me, when I buy up swing trades or investments, I'm looking at companies that have been down. Like, I don't want them to be downtrending for years. I want them to be downtrending for maybe a couple months. Like, green on the year, but pulling back over the last 2 months. Or green over the last 2 years, but pulling back this year. I'd like to see that. You know, but again, you also have to take the company and look at it in the lens of what it's currently doing in markets. Again, you got to look at it with the first thought in mind, which is this company becoming obsolete? Is this company overhyped? And you know, most of the time I'm only investing in blue chip healthy companies. So I hope that makes sense. Like, there's a lot of stuff I look at more than what I just said, but those are the main ones, to be honest. Yeah, so Dish got acquired. Yeah. Are you shorting PayPal? I don't short anything blue chip. I'm actually holding PayPal long. I'm in PayPal right now, and I've been holding it for months and months. You know, my average price in PayPal is 51.40s. You know, and again, I bought it because there's some, like, I'll take some trades outside of what I just talked about, and PayPal is one of those ones. Again, I'm not holding a big position though, so like there are some positions, like more speculative positions, that I will take, but it's high risk, high reward. So usually I'll take like a very small position, and if I'm right big, I'll make good returns with a very small investment, right? Like, that's what I did with PayPal. Again, my average price in PayPal is 51s, though it's at 63 right now. So we got a really good entry. Knowing what you say is not advice. How do you adapt your investment approach during periods of market volatility? Well, I mean, generally the smart investor is going to be, you know, going back to what Warren, again, don't copy me, not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. And so if you copy me after I say this, it's you're liable. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, going back to what Warren Buffett said, I think it was Buffett. He said it's better to be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. And I believe that 100%. And so generally, I like to, like, every time the market has dipped since I've started trading, like a major dip, I've started buying stuff up. In 2020, again, United Airlines dipped down to $20. I bought it up around there. Uber dipped down to very cheap levels. I bought it up. MGM dipped down to like $6 a share. I bought up call options, like long-term call options on it. And so when we have big extended pullbacks in healthy companies, it has to be companies in which, like, the thought that I'm thinking of is like, hey, is this company going to be okay, or is this an overreaction, is what I always have in my head. Like, is this an overreaction? And a lot of the time it is. And so I'll try to buy up stuff like that. Periods like now where the market is just up so much, I'm usually more careful in what I buy. So I'm usually looking for discounts when the market's pulling back heavy. And if the market's up big, I'm slowing down my buys, which is kind of what I've been in for the last couple months. Like, I haven't been buying up that much because the market's just flying up, and I just don't trust discount buys right now. No, I don't really short blue chips like that. And so I bought Boeing a couple days ago before all this news came out. It was a small trade. I ended up getting out for, I think, less than $100 in losses. So I ended up getting out for a pretty small loss. I got in around 200. It spiked up to pretty big levels and then dipped from earnings. But it bounced all the way back up to 215s. I think I took profit. Then it came right back down. And then once the news came out about the whistleblower and stuff, I just cut it. I just didn't want to. I'm not trying to hold that. But I'm not going to short it either. I don't really short blue chips. It's just too risky. Yeah, good questions. You know, the big edge that you're going to have, though, chat, like the big edge I'm at is that if you buy up healthy companies, like blue chip healthy companies like Apple, Amazon, Google, whatever it is, you're going to have such a big edge long term because those companies are all going to grow long term. For one of the reasons, because your dollars are devalued from inflation. And so companies are going to have to make more to break even, and they will make more to break even. And so Apple, Amazon, Google, Walmart, stuff like that, they're going to go up long term, almost certainly, you know. And so dollar cost averaging plays a big factor there, where what DCA means is like you're buying periodically regardless of price, right? So like an example would be every month I'm going to buy 10 shares of Apple, you know. And so no matter what the price is, I'm buying 10 shares, and it kind of curbs volatility. And if you do that into these companies, like the reason I like swing trading and investing, it's kind of a mix between that. Like I'll look for these companies to pull back heavy, and then I'll buy them up. And then if I'm wrong short term, I can just sit on them. Usually I can hold it for years if I need to. As long as you have a portfolio and you're comfortable to where you can do that, the accuracy in those trades is very, very high. Because again, if you don't make money short term, you can hold long term. And if it shoots up after you buy it short term, you can take a little bit of profit or whatever. And sure, you might miss out on some longer term gains, but you can kind of rinse and repeat that and have very high accuracy doing what I'm doing. And again, I've been doing that for the last few years. It's been really easy to make money. Of course, in this crazy bull market, but that works regardless of what kind of market we're in. You just got to be patient and wait, you know, if that makes sense. You go with big ones like Apple, Amazon. Keep in mind that's long term. You don't want to just go you want to diversify a little bit outside of tech too. Like Home Depot. Like Home Depot is one of my favorite retail stores. And it makes perfect sense why. Like if you think about Home Depot, right? Like the big risk for brick and mortar stores is that mail order shipping products is going to take away business from them, right? But Home Depot is very protected from that. Why? Because when people have to go buy wood and supplies like that, number one, they need it same day most of the time. They need it same day. They don't have time to wait. Number two is that most of the stuff sold at Home Depot is so heavy that you don't want to ship it. It's going to cost so much to shipping, it's not going to be worth it. And so Home Depot and companies like it are very protected from technology, you know, in ways that something like maybe Amazon or whatever, or something like Walmart might not be. Because again, you need wood, you go buy it at Home Depot, you're not going to get it shipped to you. You need a lot of the stuff sold there. You need a lawnmower, you're not going to get a lawnmower shipped to you. You know, you need a couch for outside furniture, you're not going to get it shipped to you. And so in that regard, Home Depot is just protected. It's just protected. And so Home Depot, I bought Home Depot at 290s. It's at 375s. So very big percentage return for Home Depot. I'm going to keep sitting in it too, I think. Nice, Daniel. Costco, yeah. I personally, my own favorite ones, Alex, and again, I don't know anything, not an investment professional, I'm not liable if you lose. The ones I use are volume weighted average price, 200 EMA, candlestick patterns. I'm asking Chat GPT some tricky questions here. Let's see how well I can gauge it. When Dollar Tree is not doing well, we know how broke we are. Well, Dollar Tree's not doing well, not because we're broke, but because of Dollar Tree is just, nobody goes to them anymore. It's Dollar Tree is an example of those of a company that is risking that is at risk for obsolescence. Like, it's just obsolete. You don't need to go to Dollar Tree anymore. Dollar Tree, number one, is more expensive than Walmart, so you don't need to go there. And number two is that most people get those things shipped to them now. They don't need to go to Dollar Tree anymore. The only people still going there are the older generations, and they're going to be phased out eventually. You know, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but it's the truth, right? Like, they're going to get phased out eventually. All right, chat. All right, chat. So again, I'm seeing the Nvidia stock pull back a little bit. It looks pretty strong though. We're out here building stuff, honestly. All right, gold pull it back a little bit. Q it. Some of these levels. Try a 1 minute chart. All right, chat. Again, we got to pull back here. Part of me wants to buy Nvidia up here. Maybe buy the Q a little bit here. I might buy futures, actually. Let's try to buy futures contracts here. So we had a good day yesterday in trading. Let's pull some stuff up and get ready to trade some more here, shall we? Let's figure this out. All right, so I'm gonna get a trade of 8, I think. Yeah, we're gonna log into trade of 8. Part of me wants to buy the S&P. I don't know if it's gonna work right now, but we'll play with it. Make sure I'm in the right account. Okay. All right, we're buying the queue up. We got a nice little dip here. We got 3 contracts. I'll put this up for now. We're in 3 contracts. We might actually add a little bit more. Take 4. Take 5. Well, big dip happening all of a sudden. Maybe a little bit unlucky of a time, but we'll add some more to this. There's 6. Okay, this is a big drop. We're gonna have to cut this. Oh, we're starting to get a retracement back up. See if that holds. We're back up to about flat here. That's nice. I'm gonna take half off here just to protect the trade, just because, you know, I don't want to risk big losses. We bought up a little bit more. We're in 6. We'll buy up to... There's 9. We're playing with our funded account here. Alright, so we're up. We're going to take half off here, lock it in. We'll take a little bit more off. We're catching this big bounce. This is what I thought. Like, I'm buying a pullback. I thought it would work, and of course it did. We got 1 contract left. We'll probably let this ride a little while, but probably... Actually, we're probably going to cut this pretty soon, unless it bounces up big. Alright, yeah, we're just gonna cut it. So we're up $40. Not bad. We used our intuition there and called it. Had to manage it. Alright, so we got the bounce here. Yeah, I mean, silent. Listen, I shouldn't have to explain to you what I'm doing, okay? But let me go ahead and explain it for you, since you seem to just be over... Again, you're the Dunning-Kruger effect. But let's go ahead and look at this, okay? So the logic of this trade, and I'm sure you're still going to pretend like there wasn't any logic, but the logic of this trade was very simple, all right? Nvidia, one of the heaviest weighted stocks, had this big upward trend, right? And it's trending up, and I think it's going to continue to trend up, right? Nvidia, a very heavily weighted stock, right, that influences the entire market, it certainly influences the Q here, is pulling back to 2 major milestone levels as well as the previous closing price, right? So these are big support levels, big milestone levels that a lot of other traders are watching. Some are watching the VWAP, some are watching the 200 EMA, some are watching the previous closing price. And so when we get that big pullback in Nvidia, and we also have a nice similar pullback in the Q, right? Number one, what happened with the Q? The Q broke over the previous closing price, over the volume weighted average price, over the 200 EMA, and it finally had a nice little dip. So again, what's the logic of the trade? The logic of the trade is that, number one, a really influential stock is probably going to bounce because it hit 3 major milestone levels. Number two, what I'm actually trading, which is the Q price action, is pulling back to the volume weighted average price, and it just broke over some major support levels, right? So it's showing more strength in that regard. And so when we have 3, 4, 5 red pullback candles, I think that's a good dip to buy, and I think it's a highly probable bounce in that situation. But yeah, man, again, people tend to just talk out of their butt because they don't know what they're talking about. But again, that's the logic of the trade, and I think it makes perfect sense, and it ended up working out. So cheers to you. Sorry, I'm over here building stuff. Yeah, I'll tell you this, AI is not perfect. We're over here trying to build these things. All right, we got about 300 people. Can this pattern be applied to Bitcoin? I mean, you got to figure it out. Again, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest, whether it can work on Bitcoin or not. It's a very simple pattern. Like, you'll see me day trade with this one often. I'm watching Nvidia. Nvidia influences the whole market. Like, a lot of the time, if Nvidia makes a big move down, the market's going to make a big move down because it's just number one, it's heavily weighted, but number two, it's the big reason the market's run up so much this year, right? And so if I can look at Nvidia and find a spot in which I think it's probably going to bounce, I'll buy up the Q or the Nasdaq, and because sometimes there can be a little lagging effect, right? And that's a powerful thing because an example of this is like Nvidia can bounce, and the Q might take a little while for it to bounce back up with it, but it'll still follow it, you know. So again, you can kind of see the Q here. It's a 5-minute chart as well. If I put up a 1-minute chart, it's a lot more clear, where you can see how they parallel each other. Nvidia looks a lot like the Q, and the Q looks a lot like Nvidia. But again, when the Q dips down to major support levels, you know, it's just a VWAP bounce kind of trade. Kid, I played short Tesla yesterday. Just be careful, brother. Yeah, just be careful. All right, chat. Yeah, I'm starting to see AI's capability here. I'm trying to build stuff, but AI is certainly not perfect here. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's much better. All right, finally. Yeah, that's better. Okay, dope. Let's make it a little bit more strict. see. 1, 2, 3. Actually, this is a pretty good job. This is actually pretty good. All right. There we go. All right, so yeah, we're playing with these codes, man. Honestly, there's some cool stuff. Anyways, GTC, do y'all think GTC will have a positive effect on markets? I guess is another big question too. Will GTC help or hurt the markets? Single stock futures. Yeah, they don't trade anymore, so technically today is triple witch, but so Randy, quad witching day is a day of historical volatility in which all major contract types expire. It used to be quad witching day. Now it's just triple, because you got to think about all the major contract types. Options and futures, right? So stock options, right? Like Tesla options as an example of stock options. Stock futures doesn't exist anymore, so that one's taken out. And then you have index options, so like the S&P 500 options, and then you have index futures like the E-mini, the Nasdaq, what I was trading a second ago, you know. Let me know if you like this music. It's a new. Again, we did get the bounce that we were talking about on Nvidia and the Q here, so it worked great. And again, we're trading on Apex today. Apex has got their 80% off sale, chat. Their 80% off sale going on, where you get 80% off Apex funded account challenges, and again, 1 day pass is back, so you can get funded same day basically. So like if you buy a challenge and pass it and hit the profit target and all that good stuff, you get funding in 1 day. You don't have to wait 3 days or anything to get funded anymore, and that's a great sign. So you can get your funded account very quickly. Again, 80% off. Base one's 25K. Top one's 300K, and we got funded in the 300K Rhythmic account. And they're just really useful because most day traders lose money. I'm always honest about that. Like, most day traders lose. Doesn't matter whether you're on, you know, Apex or TOS. Like, most day traders lose. It's a lot cheaper to lose on Apex, and if you're good enough to pass it, you get 90% split once you're funded anyway. If you lose, you're only out what you pay for it, so your risk in the beginning is much less. Like, I lost thousands of dollars in the beginning, and these funded account programs, not only do they help you learn how to trade under pressure, because you're still risking something, you're just not risking the full amount, so your risk is limited, still learning how to trade, and if you're good enough to pass it, you get a 90% split. So just really cool. And again, you can use my promo code BT, Beginner Trading BT, all one word, to help support your boy here on this channel. BT, all one word. Get the max discount. If you want to ever know what the max discount is, just use promo code BT. My contact said that that'll get you always the max discount. So if you want to check it out, here's the link. We also got the link in the description. Yeah, quadruple witching. Alright, let's try to go play with this one. All right, chat. So again, we do have gold consolidating. We might get ready to day trade some more here too. That's like $89 or something like that. I'll have to go check. TK. Is the volatility bullish or bearish typically? It depends, to be honest. There's a lot of potential there. So it really depends. Like, it can be both. It can be bullish or bearish. It's not just one, you know. Nice. All right, so now we're pulling back a little bit. Part of me wants to buy this dip again. I'm looking at stock news as well. We don't really have any earnings, but again, next week is the FOMC meeting and the GTC conference. It'll be a very busy week. I'm looking at other stuff going on right now in markets. Capital One, February credit card delinquency rate was 4.72, previous 3.72 year over year. Charge-off rate 5.95. Interesting. All right, chat. All right, here, I'm gonna have to start coding or stop coding. It's taking up too much of my time. Let me see. All right, chat. So yeah, I'm playing with some really complex indicators and stuff like that. Gold at 2170s. Let me check back up on chat. What's up? Michigan consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. Yeah, so Michigan consumer sentiment, New York State Empire Manufacturing Index. So none of these are really big. Did Nvidia reject the VWAP? So Nvidia is kind of consolidating. It bounced at the VWAP level. So yeah, it bounced a little bit. I'm still kind of patiently waiting for this. Alright, so we kind of want to buy this again on the queue, although we got to be patient and wait. Are you trading the Nasdaq today? Yeah, I'm trading the Nasdaq. PCE data. PCE data is not this week, it's not next week, it's the week after, I'm pretty sure. So it's not this week, it's not next week, it's the week after. Yeah, forgive me guys, I'm building. Yeah, let me know if you like this music. Do y'all like this song? This song's a little off, I think. Hope it could be good. Jad, did you get to the point where you're using APIs to pull in stock data? Yeah. All right, 886.25. Gold is still flat. Part of me still wants to buy the Q, but we're green. We traded a little bit already today. Beginnertrading@gmail.com is my email. Yeah, very flat. Again, part of me wants to buy the Nvidia chart. Anything else look cheap? List me some stocks you want me to look at. I'll take a look at them. Yeah, there's a lot I'm gonna have to play with here. All right, so yeah, I should have bought Nvidia in the queue. Look at that bounce back up to 440. So my thesis was correct here, which is that I think this little pullback bounce is still gonna be a bull flag-esque run, and that's basically what happened. Tesla between 160 and 170. Yeah, part of me wants to buy some more. I don't know if I should though. I think there's risks. Yeah, Adobe dropped earnings. And Adobe gapped down pretty big from earnings. Understandably so, I think. Like, Adobe, people aren't going to need to use it as much is the big risk here for it. Like, people are just not going to need to use it as much. Alright, so we are having kind of like a double top here in Nvidia. I do want to buy the dip, but gold is up there here. We also have to look at like the Q, but yeah, Adobe dropped significantly on earnings. There's the Q on the left side. Yeah, let me know if you like this music. It's kind of like house music almost. Adobe John, we expected that drop after 2 years. I finally got into crypto account that I was locked out of. Hey, nice Sam. Tesla between 160 and 170. Sporting goods. Yeah, I mean, I could turn the music down if you don't like the music. I got one. I think we need to make it a little bit more strict. Yeah, dude, AI is really solid, man. You can talk to it. You could say, hey, I like this. Make it a little bit more strict. Make it a little bit better. Do this. Here's my theory. Can you make this out of this theory? And it says yes. And it does. It just did. I gave it a theory. I was like, hey, I want to look for when this happens. These different conditions are met. My theory is this. Can you create this for me? And it said yes. And it did. And it actually worked, too. AI is genuinely powerful. If you're not going to pay attention to GTC next week, you're missing out. Nvidia's conference next week. We will be streaming it. Honestly, my eyes are gonna be glued I'm trying to see what they're building. Wow. Wow. Okay. I don't mind this music. I mean, again, the queue's still sitting there. Part of me wants to buy the dip. Look at Adobe, though. What were Adobe's actual earnings here? Let me check. Adobe. Barclays cut Adobe from 630 to 7. Maintain price. Maintains overweight. TD Cowen adjusts Adobe Systems price target to 640 from 650. I know they dropped earnings. Adobe CEO says Firefly adoption in Photoshop and Illustrator is pretty good. Quarter run revenue was 5.18 billion. EPS was 136. Adjusted EPS was 448. What do they expect? So yeah, Adobe gapping down pretty big. I would buy the dip, but I don't trust it, man. Again, the AI is going to eat their lunch to a certain extent, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm building these codes. I don't know how far back I've gone or how, but man, all right. What date am I on here, man? How far is this gonna go? All right, look, I just gotta switch. Let's put up something else. I'm looking up stocks too. Yeah, the problem is, like, most stuff has moved up. Like, almost everything's gone up over a couple months period. Although, this looks pretty good. It's not perfect. Let's try a longer term time frame. Okay, we got this one. Oof. This one's good. This one's good. Wow. It works. It's alive. All right, Nasdaq, pull it back a little bit. Part of me wants to buy it up. You know, the problem with this one is it's a little bit strict, but that's okay. All right, Chad, we got over 400 people here. My favorite guy to get economic data from. Yeah. How come you only want to take the trade? Shouldn't you be fully committed to trade before you take it? Because, I mean, you can have ideas and stuff. Again, if I'm not fully committed, I'm just not going to do it. I like the idea of a Google short. I'm not me. Remember, John, you explained to me today is triple witching, not quad witch. Thanks for the explanation you gave me last week. Well, it's still called quad witching. Still waiting for gold to change directions. Yeah, I mean, kind of weird as how inflation started to go up in 2020. The market was shooting up. Then also these limited edition. What? Yeah, I mean, again, in 2020 we had what's called. Okay, so again, anytime the economy is at risk, when I say the economy is at risk, I mean like depression, recession risks, right? Anytime the economy is struggling in that way, the Fed will take what's called a dovish stance. When you hear dovish, they're just trying to bring interest rates down. Because the less interest rates are, the more people are going to get loans, the more people are going to ultimately spend because they're paying less in interest on stuff. And so they're going to spend more because they can, right? They're going to have more money to spend in that way, right? And it's also going to make them more likely to buy houses. It's going to make them more likely to get cars. It's going to make the economy thrive in that way. Spending's going to increase because interest rates are low. And so when the economy's at risk, that's what the Fed tries to do. You know, they try to bring interest rates down, and we saw that in 2020 because of the pandemic and all that stuff. We also got stimulus checks. You know, we did quantitative easing, which is basically the Fed buying a bunch of bonds to try to help banks lower interest rates to consumers. We also cut the federal funds rate. We lower the amount that the interest that banks charge each other to hold money overnight, and eventually that trickles into consumer interest rates as well, like mortgages and stuff. And so again, the Fed did all those things to try to lower interest rates to consumers, and they did. It went almost down to zero. The problem is that when stuff like that happens, spending increases so substantially that inflation becomes a problem. You know, and that's obviously the big consequence that happened from 2020 is inflation problems. We've been kind of battling those inflation problems since. And again, the Fed takes the other side of that in a period of quantitative tightening, which is basically the Fed just stops buying bonds, lets their current holdings mature. This makes margins worse for banks, and they raise interest rates to consumers. And so essentially, we're still in a period where the Fed's trying to keep interest rates high. Is what we're in right now. If you want to know when interest rates are going to drop, you got to wait for the Fed to end that quantitative tightening phase, start cutting the federal funds rate and stuff like that, you know. Wait for the Fed to come in, maybe do some QE, buy some bonds or whatever. But yeah, that's basically what's going down and what happened. Let me see. I want to trade this cup of coffee this morning. It's smooth and rich. Oil is alive again. Yeah, I know Exxon's doing well, right? So I know Exxon's doing strong. Yesterday we had some Microsoft, Google, Apple. Yeah. Ugh. Adobe dropped after earnings. Yeah, they did drop. Again, I think AI is going to eat their lunch to a certain extent. So I think Adobe and companies like it are in trouble, personally. Anything else you guys see? What's moving right now? Hey, Pawn, I'm gonna send you something, bro. Yeah. Nvidia pulling back to that VWAP level. Let's see if it holds. I might buy the dip here and something. Let's see. And so again, we did make money yesterday on the micros. We'll play around with this again. Alright, chat. So again, Nvidia under the VWAP here. This is what I'm watching. We also have the Q pulling back to the volume weighted average price, which I kind of like here for a bounce play, but who knows what's going to happen. you know. See if we get a bounce. Consolidation happening here. Let's see if the Q bounces. It's right at the VWAP. The problem is Nvidia starting to flush down under the 200 EMA. I don't necessarily like that. Again, the Q right at the 200 EMA. I don't like this fact that Nvidia broke down big under these levels, unfortunately. It's a big bear move potential here because, again, Nvidia broke down under the 200 EMA. Again, I don't know what's going to happen here, but yeah. It's a big bearish move, I'll tell you that. It is triple witching day today, chat. The 1 minute. All right, chat. Let me open up another one. All right, so again, a bearish sign here, although we are hitting the previous closing price. Triple witching is next week, not this week. I'm pretty sure it's this week. Let me see. Yeah, triple witching dates in 2024 are March 15th, June 21st, September 20th, and December 20th. So yes, today is triple witching day. March 15th. It would be today, kind sir. It is today. You're welcome. The base one's like 30 bucks. What app? If you use my link, it's like 30 bucks. Top one's like a little bit under 200, I think. Again, just remember promo code. If you want the max discount, just remember promo code BT. Beginner Trading BT. All one word. All right, so I've got this cool indicators. Let's create it. I gotta get the alarm to show up. Alright, we'll do the alarm clock. Alright. Now these don't show up every day, but in the SPY we got one set up. I'll put one on the Nasdaq here. Let's try a 5 minute. So I looked at a 1 minute. Sorry, chat, I'm building here. Wait. Looks like they work on a 1 minute chart too. Let's try 5. Okay, there it is. Yes, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Alright. Let's try the Nasdaq here, see what that looks like. I haven't really tested on the Nasdaq. I've only tested on the SPY, but it looks to be really nice. A 1 minute one actually looks really solid too. So like this like could be a scalping one. I'm gonna leave this up. I'm gonna create an alert same way. Yep. All right. Are you bullish or bearish today? I'm not. I don't really have a. I don't really have a bias, directional wise. You know. So I don't really have a bias that way. All right, guys. It's past 8 o'clock. How do you set up charts and buy in Apex? I mean, it depends on what platform you're using. I'm using Quant Tower as well as Tradeovate lately. So I'm using Quant Tower and Tradeovate. You know, so. Yeah, I'm using Quant Tower and Tradeovate. So it just depends. It doesn't really usually bring anything. Like a lot of the time you get red action, but you also can get green action too. We also have Michigan consumer sentiment data, I believe today, right? Everybody's telling me that. We have Michigan consumer sentiment stuff dropping. So yeah, so today we got Empire State Manufacturing Index, which is not really a huge report, to be honest. It's not something that we're going to be, I mean, we'll cover it. Like we're going to cover it as soon as it drops, but it's not something in which we're going to have like a big reaction to, most likely. Like the Empire State Manufacturing Index is pretty small, but we'll cover it at 8:30. Expectations are -7. And then we got University of Michigan consumer sentiment. Neither of these are really big, but again, we'll cover them regardless. We should definitely get a spike in price today when all the contracts expire. Maybe. 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 All right, let me check this. Yeah. Yeah, I'm working on a toss indicator right now. Philly Fed at 945. Nvidia's on a strong bear, so hold. Yeah. I mean, they're bouncing right now at the previous closing price for Nvidia in the Q. You can see that previous closing price level. What's up with Bitcoin this morning? Why the big dump? I think it's probably just a healthy pullback. I think pullbacks are necessary in a lot of ways. You know, so I think pullbacks are good in a lot of ways. It did. They created it for me in ThinkScript. Haha. Nice. Okay. So 1 minute chart. Let me see if I can change the color here. I gotta add this study and save. All right, let's mess with the code, edit source. I want to change it out of red. There we go. Boom. Okay, that's better. Pullback over 10% wasn't uncommon on Bitcoin last run. Yeah, I mean, pullbacks are going to happen. They've run up so much. So, like, it's necessary. I can't even figure out how to set up Apex to trade. Well, listen, Apex is just the funded account program. The platform you use depends. If you want to use Quant Tower or another platform with Rhythmic, you sign up for Rhythmic. If you want to use Tradeovate, then you buy the Tradeovate package, right? Once you buy the Tradeovate package, eventually it's going to email you your login, and you'll be able to see your login on the Apex funded account site. So when you go to the site, it'll show you a space for your login information on the right side. If you're Rhythmic, you just enter that login information into your Rhythmic platform, whichever one it is. I'm using Quant Tower for Rhythmic, so I'm using Quant Tower. So I enter that password and username into Quant Tower, and boom, I sign in and I can trade. If you're using Tradeovate, you do the same thing, but on Tradeovate, you know. But if you're that new, I mean, number one, but yeah, that's what it is. And again, if you want to check out Apex, link is in the description. To get the mass discount, use promo code BT, beginner trading. We got the Nvidia event next week too, man. All right, guys, so we're getting bounce up on the Q. Nvidia at 879.30s. So we're testing that previous close on Nvidia as well. Adobe's still down there. What else is moving? I heard Tesla bouncing up a little bit today. Here's Tesla. So Tesla at 163s. Monthly subscriptions. Anytime you take the challenge, it's a monthly subscription. Once you get funded, instead of having to pay monthly for the data and stuff like that, you can do a one-time fee once you're funded. Honestly, it shouldn't take you a month to get funded on Apex, though, personally, right? So it doesn't really matter if it's monthly or not for the base one, in my opinion, because it shouldn't take you that long. If it does, I think you're doing something wrong, unless you're just going really, really, really slow. But again, everybody's different, I guess. Everybody is different, so do what you got to do. Pretty cool, man. I'm building these codes. Nice. I don't know why. Alright, so we did bounce right back up over the previous closing price. Tesla bouncing up as well, but giving a lot of it back here. Very flat day, very neutral day. We do have the Empire State Manufacturing Index in about 19 minutes, so we got some time before that drops. Rivian 2. Yeah, so again, we got Nvidia GTC. It should be fun, man. Yeah, so again, Nvidia GTC. You guys ready? Bro, the Palantir CEO looks like the guy from Ready Player One, right? Like the Palantir CEO, look at this man. He looks like Back to the Doc from Back to the Future, or he looks like the guy from Ready Player One, the creator of the whatever. Yeah, so Render founder is going to speak at Nvidia's GTC as well. Safe to assume you lift because you can speak like a sane human in 2024. Me? Top 3 sanest people in the world right now. You don't trade penny stocks anymore? Nah, man. Have we had a peak in the market for the next month? Maybe. Right, exactly, Adam. People asking me what direction. I have no idea. Nobody does. If I did, I'd be rich, you know. Richer, I guess. I'm confused. How do rate cuts down the market? Or how do rate cuts will down the market? What do you mean, Jeanette? I'm not sure what you're asking here. Rate cuts are a more dovish stance, meaning rate cuts are meant to bring interest rates down to consumers and allow more spending. You know, the Fed's only going to pivot to rate cuts if inflation is under control, because you have to understand, typically rate cuts happen because inflation fears are less pronounced. You know, and so we're only going to start cutting rates, start bringing interest rates down when inflation is under control, and that's not right now. Economics, Corey. We cover economics, stock market, futures market, but mostly economics. Like, my channel has grown a lot. You know, my normal streams like this are, you know, we still get 500-600 people here, but my big streams like PPI yesterday, we had thousands. Nvidia earnings, we got almost 100,000 views. We had almost 14,000 concurrent viewers, and so my channel's kind of pivoted. I still day trade, but I mostly cover economics, like economic data like CPI, PPI, retail sales, jobless claims numbers, unemployment numbers, Jerome Powell press conferences, FOMC meetings, all the big earnings. So like Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Amazon earnings, Meta earnings, stuff like that. So we'll stream all of that stuff live, big events. Like we cover we cover macro markets is mostly what we cover now. And again, that's just my evolution as a trader. Penny stocks, almost all penny stock traders fail. Almost all traders fail regardless. But penny stocks are just like, listen, the only people that think you're going to get rich in penny stocks are new traders. The only people telling you can get rich trading penny stocks are people trying to sell you a course on it most of the time. You know, and I'm not saying there's not traders that can't make money in penny stocks. What I'm saying is investing in penny stocks is a sucker's bet. Trading penny stocks is usually for new traders who are talked into it by marketing. You know, and again, it's a pleasant thought. If somebody tells me, yo, you can get rich if you just buy my mentorship program in penny stocks, that's a pleasant thought. I want to hear that. Like, I want to believe that's true, right? But it doesn't mean it is, and almost all penny stock traders are going to fail. Like, penny stocks are so random. Big pumps, halted stocks, dilution. Like, it's so difficult to find any edge in penny stocks that it just doesn't make sense. Like, most day traders are going to have a better time trading futures, trading the futures market. There's no PDT in futures. The liquidity's better. The patterns in futures are very similar to blue chip stocks like Apple, Amazon. You need less buying power to do it. Again, there's no PDT restrictions in futures. You can day trade short, buy market, sell market, whatever you want to do. Very similar to day trading stocks. There's just no PDT rule. But penny stocks, on the other hand, are just incredibly risky. Most of the people trading penny stocks are people that kind of got talked into it. And again, I was once a penny stock trader, but this comes from experience. I just don't trade penny stocks anymore. I don't know anything about Fisker. I think Fisker is probably going to struggle long term. Yeah, I mean, I figured, Corey. Yeah. And again, if you want to check out futures, Apex, big discount. They got their 80% off sale going on one day pass. So if you want to get funded, again, funded account programs are useful because there's just limits your risk, drastically limits your risk. You know, again, your risk is much more limited because you're only risking what you pay for the challenge, right? The base one's $30. If you lose, you're out $30. If you pass it, you get 25 grand in funding with a 90% split. So your reward is very similar to putting the money up yourself. You're still keeping 90% split. But if you lose, you're out noticeably less. You're still also learning how to trade under pressure because you're still risking money. Like, you're risking $30, which is what you pay for it. And again, they give you a demo and they test your skill. The base one on Apex, I think you got to make like $1,500. And your max loss is $1,500. So you got to make $1,500 in profit without losing $1,500 in max losses, in net losses. So I mean, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, reasonable. And if you pass it, 25K funding, 90% split, it just makes a lot of sense. I think. Again, your risk is most. And to be fair, I always tell people the same thing. Most day traders lose, and that's the same here. Most day traders are going to lose this as well because most day traders lose. But it's a lot cheaper to lose this, is what I'll say. Didn't you see that Fisker CEO interview about shorting? I got out of Boeing D a couple days ago. I just don't trust it. With all the stuff going on, I just don't trust it. Yeah, I mean, trade, I've never seen you before, bro. So if the first thing you're coming out there is negative about a plug, I mean, you'll be all right. You holding AMC? I am holding AMC. But AMC wasn't a penny stock when I bought it, brother. I mean, I guess it kind of was. Let me see. What's my average price? My average price in AMC is $10.53, which is a pre-split price of about $1. About $1. It's now at $4.28, which is a pre-split price of about 42 cents. Penny stocks is not determined by a share price, it's determined by market cap. I don't know. Most people define penny stocks as low float stocks under $10, but it's subjective. Everybody's different. Penny stocks are purely transparent from secondary markets. Liquidity is rarely there outside of massive trend pumps. Yeah, I mean, people just think they're going to get rich, and they're not most of the time, you know. Am I plugging too much? Should I stop plugging as much? I'll try to not plug as much, guys. I mean, I don't have to plug. Hey, well, what's up, mid? Yeah, I mean, Quant Tower, you just use... Look, we'll go a full hour without plugging anything. You're welcome, guys. Full hour. Yeah, I'm trying to para, but I mean, the only time I'm really plugging stuff is like if the conversation justifies it, right? Like we're talking about penny stocks, we're talking about day trading, and again, I do think that day trading futures is the way. You know, it's just a lot cheaper. And again, this is coming from somebody like, listen, I got started day trading. Mostly what I stuck to was day trading actual like stocks. Like I day traded stocks. I tried penny stocks. I tried IPOs, I tried blue chip stocks, lost money everywhere. You know, and most day traders lose. That's just the thing to understand. Without plugging anything, like most day traders lose. Do you think the next Fed could pause? Certainly. Yeah, they're going to pause. They're not going to raise rates. They're not going to cut rates. Yeah, I mean, I'm only trying to plug. Usually I do what, like 5 to 10 plugs a day. So I think like a plug every 30 minutes is not unreasonable. Do you trade options? No, not really. If you hit it, if you fall below the threshold, they close you down. It's important to lower your size, to limit your risk. You know what I mean? Like, it's important to limit your risk. Could we get Bitcoin to dump down to 30K? You could. I don't know if you will. We have 100 likes and 557 viewers. Yeah, I mean, we got some viewers. I appreciate it. Haters gonna hate you buying the Bitcoin dip. It looks like we closed green yesterday, still waiting on the weekly close. But if that's closed red, I'm looking at 20 to 30% dip. Yeah, well, you could reset it. I think it's like 50% off resets right now. Is the wash sale all that bad, or do I just lose tax benefit? You just lose tax benefit. So like an example of the wash sale rule, Mikey, would be like if you buy Apple and you make $1,000, or no, here's an example. If you buy Apple and here's an example. If you buy Apple and you make $1,000, and then you buy Apple again and you lose $1,000, you can't write off the loss of the last one like you're net down $1,000 when really you're break even. Right? Like really you're break even. You made $1,000, you lost $1,000, you're break even. You're not down $1,000. And so you can't write off that $1,000 loss like you're down, is what the wash sale rule means. And basically, at least that's what it's meant for. Not necessarily what it means, but that's what it's meant to protect from is writing off unsubstantiated losses that you really are not down. You're just writing it off because you did lose. So that's what it's for, you know. So I hope that makes sense, right? A lot of people don't understand the wash sale rule. Dream face. But they got so many scammers. Yeah, no double dipping, basically. Yeah, that's basically what it means. Like, you can't double dip. You can't say you're down 1,000 if you're really flat because you traded it twice, is what it means. Yeah, so options expiring today is a big thing, man. We'll see. Do y'all think quad witch will give... It's really triple witch, right? But do y'all think quad witch will give you good or bad action? I'm trying to look at longer term trends here. There we go. Let's see. People need to sell all contracts. Witching is usually always choppy for me. Yeah, it typically is really choppy. I'm pretty sure it's for all months pair, but I'm pretty sure it's for each month. Yeah, it's not just for first month. It's for each month. I'm pretty sure. Chat, you might be able to help me out with that. I'm pretty sure it's for every month though. I'm expecting it to be difficult today because Delta's untrustworthy. Yeah, I mean maybe. It's quad witching day. Next week we got the FOMC meeting. The FOMC meeting. All right, Chad. So the Q bounced it up a little bit. I'm wondering if we're going to reject this previous closing price. All right, so we're testing this out. I'm trying out these new codes. Looks pretty good. 1 minute. Alright, let's try this. That's the Nasdaq. Let's try the E-mini. There's one. We'll just keep building this. John, any bounce in sight? Stonks. Bad quad witching day. No news today. Oh, we got the Empire State Manufacturing Index. It just came out. It didn't really influence things that much, but the Empire State Manufacturing Index showed up at, just to put this in perspective, chat, the Empire State Manufacturing Index showed up at minus 20.9 versus minus 7. So a pretty big discrepancy here. We'll put this up on screen. Minus 20.9 versus minus 7. So a pretty big dip. We also had import-export prices come out. Exports came in at 0.8 versus 0.2. Imports came in at 0.3 versus 0.3. So exports came in a lot higher than expected, which is good. That's probably why the market bounced up a little bit. Like greater exports is typically a favorable, positive thing. But yeah, there's the data right there. Minus 20.9 versus minus 7. I think the big thing, guys, again, next week we got the FOMC meeting. After that, we got the Empire State Manufacturing Index. Or no, I'm sorry. After that, we have... All right, so again, we're over the previous closing price here. Or right around the previous closing price now. Let me check everything here. All right, chat. Let's see. So I'm building this code. Open up a new one. Let's put the SPY up here. See if it works. Alright, so we're consolidating under this level here. The Q back over the previous, or under the previous close. Nvidia actually reject the previous closing price, so I think we gotta wait and see if we get some type of movement here. Break. Let me know if you like the music today. Pretty good. What's up, Tobias? Stated drop, not a big reaction. Yeah, again, it's not a huge reaction. Again, I told you guys, this isn't going to move the markets that much. So we're not really going to move that much with this. Hey, thank you, Sarge. Appreciate it. Never found any value in thinking about the outcome of the direction. Yeah, I mean, react, chat. I mean, reacting is such a much more powerful thing than trying to predict, like, exactly what's going to happen. I mean, you could try, but reacting to moves is going to be a better, like, system. Yeah, I like the music. It's kind of unique. So we are breaking down a little bit here, and I do think this all looks weak. We're going to start trading a little bit more. And again, we're trading on Apex here. We took 3 contracts here. You can see we're down a little bit, about 50 bucks from the day. We did lose some. I'll take up to 4 contracts here. I think there's a bearish sign. I'll take half off there, lock the profit in. And we'll let the rest keep working. Alright, so boom. We got this nice little, we'll cut half off there, lock it in. And we'll go ahead and cut the rest off. So we're flat on the day, not too shabby here. We made our money back. We'll see what we get on the rest here, chat. So, Sorry, guys. That's my alert. I'm not going to tell you what it's alerting me to here, chat, but, sorry for the noise. Okay, well. Took half off here. Lock it in. Again, sorry I can't show you what I'm using or what I'm doing here, but took a little bit of profit here already. Just kind of testing things too, so I wouldn't copy off of me. I don't want you to copy off anything I'm doing. It is kind of a test of different things. We got 4 contracts here. Half off. Another half off. Cut the rest there. So we just made some money here on the, you know, again, I don't want you guys to copy me. I'm just kind of building stuff in the background here, so sorry. Nice. Cool. So yeah, it's kind of like a short-term scalping reversal indicator is what I got on the chart. All right, chat. So we're kind of hanging out here. The little short-term indicator I built worked, even if it couldn't correct it back down a little bit. We're still tweaking it. Sorry, Cash. Take the trash out? Nah, trash is out. We're getting kind of stagnation here. We still got 45 minutes until the market opens. I see some people mad at my alarm. Y'all be okay. you can't really please the internet. Like, people get mad. They'll be like, hey, bro, you're not showing me your indicators or alerts, bro. We don't know if you're really taking them. Then you build an alarm for it, and they say, oh, man, the alarm is so loud. Stop it. No matter what you do, you know. It's the internet. Nah, I built trading view alerts is what I built. So sorry, I'll turn it off if you want me to, if that's too loud. You know. Yeah, we're taking another position based off of it too. Scaling out. We're up about 60 on this one. We're going to trade our larger one at the open. Yeah, we're up 60. Manufacturing data came out. It came out like 20 minutes ago, right? Like, you're talking about the New York City, New York Manufacturing Index. Yeah, it came out 20 minutes ago. It came in at minus 20.9. You can see it on the bottom of the screen. But the indicator worked. The indicator worked. It did give me an email too, so I can set it up to where it gives me emails as well. Do I need to turn those? Do you guys want me to turn the? Do you want me to turn off the alerts? Is it that loud? Is it that bothersome, chat? Turn it off or no? I mean, I don't want you guys to copy me anyway, so I don't mind turning it off. Let me turn it off. How do I get to my alerts? Alerts. Open alerts. So I'll get these. I'll turn the sound off. Is there a more pleasant sound I could do? Is that better? I think that's probably a little bit better. I'm gonna save it like that. That's probably a little bit better. We'll do the same thing here. You know, a little bit more pleasant, right? Like that? That's better, right? Don't you dare turn it off. Yeah, it's the internet. People get mad. Look at that reversal, bro. Again, that alert worked. Honestly, part of me wants to turn it off just so you guys can't, you know. Adobe, yeah, Adobe down big. Yeah, fire alarm on the first one. Sorry, guys. Yeah, we fixed it. Alright, so now we're under the VWAP, under the 200 EMA. I guess I'm bearish now. We got the little short-term move we wanted. But who knows? All right, chat. We still got 30 minutes, 40 minutes until You can put it in fast forward mouth. It just depends. A lot of other streams don't let you rewind. Because like if they have a bad day or whatever, they don't want you looking back and watching it or whatever. So they don't allow you to rewind. Since this one allows you to rewind, you could be delayed. Just hit the live button. You can also put it in fast forward now. But again, it's up to you. Don't worry now, guys. I'll buy puts so the market bounces back. Netflix breakouts today. What time frame are you guys trading? I'm trading a little bit of everything. 1 minute, 5 minute. It just depends. Why is Netflix pumping? Probably because of the Jake Paul Tyson announcement fight. It's going to be free on Netflix for that fight if it happens, which it's a big if. Who knows if it'll freaking happen? But if the Jake Paul Tyson fight happens, it's great for Netflix. It's a live event. Hundreds of millions of followers will get to watch that fight if it happens. I hope it happens, or I hope it doesn't happen, to be honest, because I like Tyson. I don't want to see him get knocked out by a YouTuber, personally. But, you know, again, people, I don't think the people really understand. Like, the people that say Tyson has a chance, I don't think y'all really understand, man. Like, I really don't think y'all understand. Like, y'all really have to understand. Like, I think sometimes older people, they overestimate their fighting ability, okay? And of course, I'm talking about Mike Tyson, so like he obviously does have fighting ability. But I think the older population, I think they forget how much age plays a factor. You become much slower. I don't care what videos Tyson's showing. You become much slower. The biggest difference in aging is simple. You think slower. Not just move slower, you think slower as you get older, athletically especially. And so while Tyson was the greatest, you know, at one point, Tyson's chin is probably gone. His power is severely diminished, and his fight IQ is going to be drastically lower than it was in his prime. You know, and I get it. I think it's confirmation bias. I think people want Tyson to win, and so they overestimate his likelihood of winning. But I think people really need to understand age plays a huge factor. Jake Paul is not a great boxer. He's knocking out old, retired MMA fighters with no chin, right? But he could probably beat a 60-year-old Tyson. You know, and as much as I hate to say that, like, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I think you got to understand the difference here in age. And again, I think older people don't want to admit that age plays a huge factor. Older people are slow, you know, like, no offense, but if I fight a 60-year-old, that 60-year-old's probably getting beat up. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter, you know. Because again, deterioration happens in your speed, in your age. It just happens. And Tyson, while he was the greatest, it's just a bad fight for him. It's a bad fight for him. Jake's young. He's got power. He's not the greatest boxer, but those two things will make it very difficult for Tyson to win. Yeah, I mean, listen, anybody can, okay. You can look at his training videos, and that's great and all. But again, there's a difference between somebody hitting a speed bag or hitting a heavy bag and fighting an actual person. You know, anybody can, like, look, I could go up there and punch a punching bag and record it until I look good and wait for a good one that I look great in and post it to the internet. There's a difference, though. Again, people just, it's hard for people to admit, I think. Because I think sometimes, like, the older people want to believe that the older guy can beat the young guy. Age plays such a huge factor. You know what I mean? It really does. And again, it's a bad fight for Tyson. I hope it doesn't happen. If you think in a fight you are done, wrong. Look, I trained jiu-jitsu, like I trained BJJ. I trained, you know, I'm a 2-stripe white belt, but like, thinking like fighting is a chess match. You have to think. You know, if you don't think and you just kind of go, I just see red, bro. I'm just going to run out there. Like, you're going to get beat up. You know what I mean? Like, you have to think. It really is a chess game. Like, all of it. Jiu-jitsu, especially grappling and striking as well. You have to react. You have to set traps. Like, you got to do a lot of different things. And so you have to think. It's not like you just shouldn't think. You just see red, bruh. Go run out there. I'm definitely top 3 worst fighters in the world right now. But still, it's important to note. Yeah, I saw the Tyson versus Jones Jr. It didn't look good, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, they looked slow. They look slow, right? If Tyson can't knock out a very old Roy Jones Jr., he's not going to knock out Jake Paul, unfortunately. Yeah, he's doing it for the money, which I feel bad. Their expectations. Hey, thank you, Eric. Just thought I would tune into a non-significant data day today and say that I hope you have a great day. Hey, you as well, brother. I hope you have a great day too, man. Again, I know I'm taking the polarized stance. I hope I'm wrong, bro. Listen, I hope Tyson goes out there and just drops Jake and that's it. I hope it happens, but it's probably not going to happen, unfortunately. Again, it's just age, father time beats all of us. And again, I think it's a bad fight for Tyson. I think, I feel for him. I really do. I feel for the fact that he needs to take that fight. I see somebody saying, oh, I work in the oil field. I run circles around these young guys. There's a difference between working in the oil field and fighting, brother. Like, there's just a difference, man. Like, it doesn't take much thought to strike a sledgehammer. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't take much deep, like, reaction, stuff. There's a difference. There's just a difference, bro. Now, if they allow him to juice, I'm for it. Let him do it. I want to see TRT Tyson, okay? I'd love to see that. We got that reversal from that alert. You saw that alert? That alert showed up way back here. And look at that nice little reversal back up. So I got to keep playing with that. Yeah, like, I get it, man. I think, like, the older people... And again, I'm getting older. I'm not a young pup anymore. Like, I get it. But I think older people overestimate their fighting ability, versus young people. And I think something that you see specifically in MMA, is that once you break 35, once you're over 35, your reaction time slows, your chin goes away, your power slows down. You still have power, but, it's a lot harder for them to win. And again, you see that in MMA, which is probably the easiest way to look at what really happens, is you see it in MMA. Unfortunately, it's an unfortunate thing. I'm not happy about it. Like, again, I'm over 30. I don't like it, but it's just the reality of it, Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Tyson wins. How you see future of SNOW stock? I don't know. I'm in it small. I'm down basically nothing on it, but I don't know. I like the future of it, but I think short term it can be volatile. I think it's pulling back a lot over the last couple weeks, really. It's down to almost 158 at 160 roughly right now. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it could be time for a pullback dip. It just depends on how long you're willing to hold it. Yeah, they're not going to work every time, Sam. That's just not a reasonable expectation, though. You know, they work. It depends on what the accuracy is. Microsoft did just dump. I'm looking up some other news that's coming out today. Rolls-Royce announces investment, assembly, test, and shop visit capacity within the UK and Germany. Boeing tells airlines to check 787 cockpit seats after mishap on Latin flight. Green or red at the open, chat. Green or red at the open. I'm 53. Life gets hard. I know. I get it, man. Listen, I'm not judging. You know, I just don't think it's healthy for like old men. Old men really want to be tough guys, and I get it. But they have to understand most of the time, a 25-year-old will run circles around them, and that might be a hard thing to accept. I think people try to hold on to youth, and I get it. I get it. But yeah, I think you gotta. Father time happens, man. Red to green. Quad witching day, I mean, it's just a day of volatility. We don't know what, there's no way to really predict what's going to happen today. We could try to, but again, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here today. Quad witch it's really triple witching day. We call it quad witch, but it's really triple witching day. All three major contract types expire today. So that includes stock options, index futures, and index options. So that happens today. We'll see what we get. We got less than 25 minutes until the opening bell. Red until afternoon. We'll see. Right now, if you look at like the Q, Tesla, Nvidia, they're basically flat today. So we're basically sideways. Right around the previous closing price on all of them, including the Q. Tesla is starting to bounce back up. Tesla up to the volume weighted average price. Nvidia still at 870s. The question is, does Nvidia break over 900 today? And I really don't know. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like for me personally, athletics wise, and I tell my son the same thing. Like when you're young, when you're a kid, you're just you're not as athletic as you, or it's not that you're not as athletic, it's that you're not as coordinated. You don't really start to get coordinated until you're like 20. You know, prior to that, it depends, right? Like, of course, there's kids that are just super athletic and coordinated, but I didn't really start to get coordinated until I was like 20. You know, I was pretty clumsy up until then, but maybe I'm an outlier, and you know. Yeah, I've got a son. I've got a daughter, too. No, Nvidia going down to 860s today. AMD going to 180s. We'll see. Maybe. All right, Microsoft's still bouncing back up. So Microsoft dipped a little bit. Here's Tesla. Here's Microsoft. So Microsoft's trying to run back up at 425.20s. Yeah, and I think one of the interesting things about jiu-jitsu especially, right? It's like, you know, and they say this a lot in those circles, is that people think they can fight until they train jiu-jitsu, and then they realize how vulnerable they are. Like, people think they're tough guys and all that stuff until they train, and then they realize how little they knew before, you know? Like a person that knows, even like a white belt jiu-jitsu guy is going to run circles around anybody that hasn't trained before. You know, it doesn't matter. Even like big, strong, you can be big, strong. It doesn't matter, you know. Striking's different, though. If they know how to strike, it's different. But again, this is coming from top 3 worst fighters in the world right now. Tyson was good at mentally being, yeah, for sure. Morning Green Day today? I don't know. Maybe. Again, remember, today is witching day, so all major contract types expire. So it could be volatile. Just be careful. It is Friday as well. We got Michigan consumer sentiment data coming out at 10 a.m. And so we'll see what that shows. But yeah. Where'd my music go? There's my music. Yeah, we'll see, Kenneth. I hope so, man. I hope Tyson does well. I wish I could send a picture of the SPY chart. We're starting to test lows here on the Q. Again, very flat few minutes. Microsoft's starting to pop, though. Netflix broke 52-week high. Did it really? So the yearly high for Netflix. Yeah, 625s for Netflix. Look at Netflix rip up. Surprised it's not dragging tech up more. 625s here. Nvidia up or down. Nvidia's pretty flat. It's red on the day. You can see the previous closing price right here. It's the level at which it goes from red to green, green to red. We're red on the day for Nvidia. Definitely top three. Karate's pretty useful. You know, karate's useful. You see like MMA fighters like Lyoto Machida, who's just really fun to watch. Karate, you see Michael Page recently fought last week. Just destroyed Kevin Holland. People were mad about that fight. I thought it was super fun to watch. I'm a big fan of Venom Page, man. He's just a great fighter. But he's a karate fighter as well. So karate, very useful. You know, the martial arts that are not useful are like Kung Fu, Aikido, complete scam martial art, waste of time. Kind of like the pyramid scheme of martial arts where like the people who use it are desperate to believe it's useful. And so they'll pretend it's useful and try to bring other people onto it. You got Steven Seagal, probably one of the least athletic people nowadays, telling people how great it is, walking around and, you know, they're basically play fighting and acting. But again, the useful martial arts are wrestling is probably the best base. Wrestling, boxing, Muay Thai, and Jiu-Jitsu, you know. Judo's all right, but judo, you need the right conditions for judo to work, you know. You see Ronda Rousey was judo. She did really grow with it. Again, you just need the right conditions, but it works as well. I did judo as a kid. Who would disagree about Aikido? Link is in the description, King. It's a funded account program in futures. They give you a demo. They test your skill. It's a challenge, right? You got to treat it as a challenge. Have reasonable expectations for it. If you lose, you know, you're only risking what you pay for it, which limits your risk. And when most day traders lose, it's a good, you know, I think it's valuable. I lost thousands in the beginning. I tell this story every day. And so I wish I had something like this where I could, you know, take a challenge. If I'm good enough to pass it, great, I get funded. If I'm not good enough, I only lose what I pay for it instead of thousands. And again, if you want to check it out, links in the description. Just use my promo code BT, beginner trading. Somebody got mad at me for plugging earlier. I'm only plugging because somebody's asking me about it. So, yeah, Aikido's just a ridiculous thing, man. Like, they're sitting there play fighting. You know what I mean? Like, they'll sit there and be like, "Oh, well, bro, you know, we're just sparring here. If it was a real fight, you'd be out, man. I'd poke you in the eye." It's like, dude, anybody can do that. I could, you know, that's not a martial art. Like, hey, let me poke you in the eye. Like, get out of here. But I digress back to it. I'm not going to shame Aikido people. It really is just a ridiculous thing. It just scams people. People waste their time learning Aikido. They should be learning jiu-jitsu or boxing or Muay Thai or something like that. You know, even like Taekwondo is useful if you have like a really athletic person. It's not for everybody, but Kung Fu's nonsense for the most part. Karate's good. Aikido's nonsense. You know. Nah, 44 mag, nah, man. I'm not gonna talk about any of that stuff. Yeah, wrestling, Michael. I think if you train, like, I think the best way to do it, like, if you want, like, quick self-defense, learn wrestling and learn boxing, and then maybe take, like, 3 months of jiu-jitsu so you can avoid like guillotines and stuff like that. Then you're going to be very hard to beat in like outside of the like actual pro fights or something like that, right? But I think those 3 things will make you pretty solid. Yeah, you see what is his name, guy in the UFC fights Capoeira. I can't ever pronounce it, but yeah. Karate's good. All right, guys. Netflix got up to 627s. 627s. All right, chat. We got 15 minutes. Yeah. Capoeira. Is it first or second? Capoeira. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've heard of it though. It's kind of like, it's not dance fighting, but it's like a lot of spinning stuff, right? All right, quad witching day today. We are dipping down a little bit. The Q continuing to break down. We're in this downward trend. You can kind of see the downward trend. I'm going to try to draw it on the Q. I think that's a pretty obvious trend that we've been in. We'll see if we bounce. Successful people have a few things in common, military or martial arts, to a certain extent. It depends on how successful and what they're successful in. I think once you become comfortable financially, you can have more time to learn martial arts is what it is, I think. And that's what you see, like Mark Zuckerberg learn martial arts. He's a big jiu-jitsu guy now. I think he's like a blue belt, and I can respect him for it. Mark Zuckerberg probably beat me up, you know. Sorry, chat. I thought I changed it. It's supposed to be a different one, so my fault. Yeah, and again, just to put this in perspective, some of these are bearish alerts. I'm not saying this is a bearish one or a bullish one, but don't just blindly copy whatever I'm doing here, all right? Not a good move. All right, we're scalping out of this, and futures, we're up about $100 on the day, $95 at least. Yeah, we're up about $100 in micro contracts. Let me check the chat, see everybody yelling at me. Hey, look, there's the reversal back up, though, man. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. I caught one. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but, you know. Look at the rebound, though. It is a Nasdaq indicator is what this is. And look at that bounce back. Again, it's short term. It's a scalping one that I've built. I'm not going to show you guys the directions on it, though. No, I am using chart prime a ton, though. I'll show you chart prime later, but... Baba, I'm in Baba right now. I'm still in it. Interest rate hikes. No, we're not gonna hike rates. We're probably gonna pause again. Netflix just broke highs again, man. Wow. And again, look at the Q, man. I built this indicator for the Q and the Nasdaq. You guys see two examples of it. Two examples of it. I'll take it. I'll take it. All I'm going to say is freaking AI, you know. What's up, State? Again, I can't guarantee anything works. Nobody can. Remember, I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. Remember, I'm terrible and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Here, I'm gonna turn these indicators off now, though, because again, I don't really want. Chart prime looks dope today too, though. But I don't really want. Yeah. Just gonna mute it. Okay. Pause. 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 Oh wait, no, we'll play. All right, there we go. This is paused. This is paused. All right, sorry guys, we paused on these. Alright, so now we're coming all the way back down, cracking lows here, chat. Look at this. So we are breaking down. I think we're still in this trend. I think this trend line I drew works. I think Bitcoin will follow an uptrend. Pavlov and the dogs? Yeah. If you don't know the Pavlov theory, Pavlov was a scientist, basically. He worked on what's called classical conditioning in psychology, right? And the experiment he did was he would feed dogs and then ring a bell, or I think he might have rang a bell and then fed his dogs. Rang a bell and then fed his dogs, right? And so the job was to watch to see how he could condition the dogs. And this is really how you train a dog in general as well. If you want to train a dog to do anything, you use a variation of Pavlov's classical conditioning. But yeah, he would feed the dogs. Eventually, he took the food out of the. He took the food stimulus out, right? So he would just ring the bell, and he analyzed the dog's reaction. And what he noticed is that the dogs would salivate. They would drool, basically, regardless of whether the food was present or not, after a certain point of conditioning. So you can condition the dogs to do whatever you wanted them to do. And again, like when you zoom out of that and you put it into trading terms, your job is to condition yourself in the same way. For trading, you got to condition yourself to do the correct things, to not make mistakes, to have discipline. You want to condition the right things in trading, and that's your job as a trader. Condition yourself to do the correct things and to discipline yourself. All right, Chad, we got 6 minutes. 6 minutes. So look at a breakdown still coming here. Could today be free fall Friday until the market open, King? Market opens up in about a minute, or in about 5 minutes. All right, still working here. We got a big downwick pressure showing up. What have I done? No, let me get rid of that. There we go. Go away. All right, there we go. What you notice is that GPT-4 is so much better than 3.5. Yeah, see, dude, I try to do the same thing in GPT 3.5 because my usage is too high and it just immediately gives me a bunch of errors and can't do it correctly. All right, 2 minutes, guys. All right, guys, so we're at 436, bouncing up a little bit. We got less than a minute before the market opens here, team. Less than a minute. Yeah, big dips. Look at Netflix, though. All right, we're going to put this up on screen. We're going to get ready to day trade here. We've day traded a lot today already. We're going to be day trading the futures market. Trading micros. All right, here's the opening bell, chat. Here's micros. Big dip, though. Again, it's quad witching day today. Triple witching, that is. But, man, big dips. All right, here's the open. 3 minutes. There's the opening bell. Nvidia starting to bounce up a little bit. Let's see if we get back some of these gains or some of these losses. Again, we're going to be trading futures. All right, big bounce back up here, chat. Let's see if we hold. I'm going to let things play out first here. I got to change Nvidia. Watch Netflix. Has a big influence. The Q and Nvidia both pulling back down. Looks red. Two contracts here. Took half off there, locked it in. That way if we bounce back. We're still pretty early in the day, man. Like, it's still pretty early day. Hold on, chat. I'm gonna have to get out of this pretty quick. Probably kind of a risky endeavor here, but let's take half off, or a little bit less than half off, just to protect myself. I don't want to lose too much, and you'll see me do that a lot with my trading, where like I don't want to lose a lot, and so I'll limit my size to protect the trade. So we're patient here. All right, we took half off there, locked it in. Basically flat on the day. There we go, big breakdown. All right, so we're green on the day now. Let's see how long this takes, though. Yeah, I would just be really careful today, chat. I'm still green in equity somehow. Looks like it's mostly from Tesla. Watch Nvidia here. Netflix also falling down some. One contract here short. Two contracts. Three contracts. Kind of going back and forth here. I limited my size some here. I see Nvidia start to move up. I don't want to get caught in that. So we're down a little bit on the day, but we're still pretty flat. Nvidia's starting to break over the volume weighted average price. I think I just got to let a trend play out first. We're getting really, really choppy action at the opening bell, to be honest. We're going up and down and up and down and up and down. A lot of up wicks and down wicks. I would have made money, I think, on that trade, but my risk tolerance is just not there. Yeah, T, I don't know what you should do. He said lost a lot of money. My channel's called Beginner Trading, brother. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything I say. Don't copy me. Very flat open. Look at the chop. You know, we could watch Nvidia to see if it gives us anything, but it's very choppy right now. If we start to get a run at anything, even the Q, like look how flat the Q is today. It's just 5 very sideways candles. Baba's starting to move back up a little bit. That's nice. But I can't really do anything here. I just have to wait, I think. How you guys doing, chat? Y'all doing okay? Green or red right now? Such a flat day right now. I mean, we have to watch Nvidia, but man, not a flat day, a flat opening bell, I should say. Netflix is starting to bounce. Nvidia's breaking down a little bit, but it's a very boring open so far. Very neutral. Green, slightly red, red, nothing, no confidence doing anything today. Yeah, I feel you, man. It's a boring day. I'm buying this, just one contract, just to play around with it. Could be a boredom trade. I'm just trying to see if Nvidia holds, but if it can, I'm going to get out. I'm down 15 bucks. I see Google starting to bounce up and Nvidia, so like that's why I'm taking this, but it might just be faked out, might be wrong. Take it too long. I'm gonna cut it. Nvidia's still under that VWAP level. In a day of historical volatility, it's pretty boring, right, chat? Nasdaq's at the bottom of the range. Like I'm slightly green today, mostly just from scalping the regular E-mini here. But it's a very flat day. Like we're up basically nothing. Win-loss ratio is about flat as well. Yeah, you can see Nvidia here, very boring. Here's the queue. I'm gonna put Netflix and Nvidia up on the chart. It's gonna be easier to follow. Here's Netflix, it's been breaking highs, and then there's Nvidia back up. But look how choppy Nvidia is today, team. It's just not a good day to trade right now. Maybe we get a breakout. We do have Michigan consumer data coming out at 10, but it's not really the biggest release. All right, here goes Nvidia starting to bounce too. So watch Nvidia. Nvidia has the potential to lead the market here. So we're gonna buy this in case Nvidia runs. And if it does, great. And so look at Nvidia rip. There we go. A good size. We'll go ahead and cut that. There we go. Maybe we'll add to it too if we get a pullback, but this is what I wanted. So I'm going to take this profit off, wait, see if we get a dip. We're starting to build up a little bit of profit now. Nvidia's at the 200 EMA. So we're going to buy this dip. We got a cushion that we can play with now, I guess. Try to scale in size. Alright, there's some size. Alright, took half off, locked some more in. Alright, so we're up almost $100 on the day now. Our thesis worked here. We're gonna try to buy it again. We got a bigger cushion that we could take a little bit larger size now on the day. There's 4 contracts, 5. See if it works. Ideally, we want to see Nvidia bounce. So again, we can take a larger risk now. Getting punished here. Now red on the day. I wanted to take a larger risk. But if Nvidia just stays flat, then we're just going to lose. And Nvidia's all the way back onto the VWAP here. I don't want to deer in headlights this, so I'm just going to get out and take the loss, unfortunately. Kind of bummed about it, but that's alright. Again, Nvidia all the way back under the VWAP, looking even more weak now. Not a good day to trade, unfortunately. Kind of bummed out. Like, we built up some profit on the week, and then this terrible action kind of gives it all back. But it's all good. Again, it could have been worse. I like the pattern, though, a lot, where we break over the range and then pull back to it. So, but sometimes fake outs happen. I think I should have controlled my risk a little bit better there. Baba's ripping up, though. SPY's still testing lows, and I think Nvidia looks weak right now, too. All right, so we are making a little bit shorting this downward pressure. So yeah, we're down less than $100 on the day now, so we're still green in this account, but man, such a hard day to make money on. Watch Nvidia here too. Nvidia's trying to make another push. Pushed all the way down to lows, cracked them. All right, so we are making some money back here. We're basically flat on the day, which is good. This is what we're in. We got one contract left. Somehow I got to basically be almost green on the day. I think I'm green now. Yeah, somehow we're green on the day. Again, we're scalping that regular E-mini here. It's just a flat day. I'm just glad to not be super red, to be honest here. Yeah, pre-market was better. Yeah, somehow I'm green in choppiness of today. Again, here's my P&L. We scaled, we made some profit, took some large risk. I think we took a little bit much. We're still learning how to trade micros and how to limit our risk with micros. But again, we are now, our win-loss ratio is good though. We are up $6 on the day, probably down after commissions, but still better than hundreds red. For someone, it might be a good day to make money. I mean, yeah, for somebody. I mean, Nvidia trying to run up. It's just so flat. Everything's flat. Netflix is flat. Nvidia is flat. Google's flat. Microsoft's flat. SPY is flat. Q is flat. Nasdaq. So, you know, it's just not an easy day to trade. Unless you're attacking the range, like you're shorting at the top of the range and covering at the bottom. That's the only way to really try to make money today. No, Bitcoin you can't trade on Apex. I don't know. Look on their site, Tyler. I can't guarantee yes or no. Okay, so yeah, I mean, y'all try it. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. They might have micros or something. Yeah, and again, if you want to check out Apex, use promo code BT. Funded account program you can use in futures. Link is in the description if you want to check it out. Again, it's just a great way to learn how to day trade with limited risk. You see me doing on it today. It's a choppy day, but even if I completely eliminated myself from this account, I only spent 200 bucks on it, so I'd only be down 200 bucks. But I'm actually funded now, so I get to keep 90% of my profit. So far I'm up a couple hundred in this account. And I can build up profit in this account and then withdraw twice a month from them if I follow their rules. And it's just a great way to learn how to day trade and limit your risk. If you want to learn to day trade, do not put up thousands of dollars in a conventional brokerage account and risk that trying to day trade. You're going to be so restricted. You're almost certainly going to lose it anyway. And so try a funded account program first. Again, if you use promo code BT, you get the max discount. There's the link. They are a sponsor. I'm biased because remember, guys, I have no idea what I'm talking about, and I'm wildly wrong about everything. I don't know what to do today, Chad. It's Friday. It's supposed to be a historical day of volatility, but all we're really getting is boring, flat, boring stuff. So, I mean, I don't know what to do today. Bob bounces back a little bit. Nvidia testing that 200 EMA, but it's still very, very, very flat. It'll be a red day. Well, we're bouncing up right now. We're watching Nvidia. Nvidia is what's influencing things. Nvidia up to 877s. I don't know how many tries. I'm funded currently in about 4 accounts. So I'm funded in about 4 accounts. We're kind of grinding it up. I mean, again, I don't even claim to be a good trader or anything like that. So. Again, watching Nvidia here. All right, so look at Nvidia break over the 200 EMA over the previous closing price. All right, so a big downward move here. Nvidia did break over. I'm gonna buy this here, I think, and just assume that Nvidia is gonna hold this previous closing price 200 EMA level. We're gonna start getting in small size because I think the last trade I took large size, a little bit too big. So let's see if Nvidia holds here. Kind of flat. Give it a little bit of time. I'm going to limit my size here and take one off just to protect it. We got a big burst of action here, but Nvidia also looks like it's kind of struggling. So... we're slightly red on the day, but I want to give Nvidia a chance to hold at the 200 EMA as well, which is what we're at. We only got 2 contracts, so we're just we're trading light here. I just don't trust anything. Let's see if Nvidia bounces here. If Nvidia bounces at this 200 EMA level, that might be a positive sign. If not, I'm just going to cut it and take the L. Oh, we do have, oh snap. We do have, I got to cut this. We do have University of Michigan consumer sentiment dropping right now. Yeah, that's right. So 1 minute here, chat. 1 minute. I got to cut this. I just can't risk it. Even if it works out for me, I just can't risk that. We got 45 seconds. Expectations are for 3.1 for inflation expectations. Consumer sentiments expected at 77.1. Consumer expectations expected at 75.1. So we got to cut that and just wait. All right, here we go. 20 seconds, chat. 20 seconds. Ten seconds. All right, here we go. 5 seconds. It's not a huge report, though. It's probably not super influential, to be honest. There's the report. It came out at lower than expected for everything, including inflation expectations. So this might be an optimistic sign, I think. Let me buy this. Yeah. All right, we just took half off. Might add some more. Very volatile to trade this, but again, like, I think it could be an optimistic sign. Maybe I'm wrong though, who knows? Alright, we just took another half off, locked it in. Slightly green on the day. We'll take it. So we're slightly green. Somehow we came out of this slightly green. I don't know how. But again, I noticed inflation expectations were a little bit lighter, right? Maybe this is that change in the market we need. Maybe we're just going to get a big red candle dumping me out. Alright, look, we've had our fun. We're down 40 bucks today. We're still green in the account. But it's just so difficult to gauge today, guys. There's just not really any edge. I'm going to go ahead and close it down. If you haven't already, check out Chart Prime, Trading View Service. Again, you can check out Apex if you want to fun with me, limit your risk, and learn how to day trade. And if you're a good enough day trader and you don't have that much equity, a great way to potentially get funded and get started with a much less risk amount, as well as get started with much less equity. The base one is 30 bucks. Check out the link. Use promo code BT if you want that discount for the max one. Also, check out Chart Prime, Trading View Service. You can use in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. I should have used them today, honestly, because when I look at them today, on a 5-minute chart, that is. Again, the powerful one, like, hold on, let me go back. I gotta scroll to today. Let's see how they did today. All right, whatever I'm doing, this ain't working. Let me just type in. All right, there we go. All right, so let's check out. Honestly, so look at Chart Prime. Here's Chart Prime's Trading View Service. You can use it in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. Check it out. Look at the strong signals. I'm telling you, the strong signals are powerful. Look at this sell signal that came in way back here on a 5-minute chart. Way back here. Beautiful breakdown afterwards. Look at this strong buy signal here. Beautiful bounce. This one was wrong. This one worked. Look at the strong signal, beautiful breakdown. And again, you can use this on anything with the symbol buy signal, bounce. Again, you can use these in stocks, crypto, forex, futures, back testers, oscillators, screeners, tons of really dope stuff that they offer here. Anything with the symbol. And again, it's like 40 bucks a month. Check out. I can't guarantee you're going to make money. Nobody can. They're a sponsor of mine. I should have used them today, honestly, and just been disciplined. But hey, that's how it goes. Sometimes no discipline. John shows up. But yeah, if you want to check them out, great way to help support your boy here in this channel. Check out the link. It's a boring day. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great weekend, chat. Have a great weekend. Again, if you want to check them out here, you can also check them out. Get 40% off. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Market's boring, flat for quad witch. Unfortunately, we don't have anything cool going on today. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bow out of here. Market's flat. Y'all be good. Be safe. It'd be like that. Yeah, it does. Yes, sir, it does. 90%, Daniel. Daniel, so again, Apex has paid out over 100 million. I think it's the largest payout group ever for a funded program. It's 100 million.